A whistleblower, a billion-dollar AI company, and the death of an engineer shrouded in silence. This is the kind of controversy that could cloud the entire tech industry. If it's true.
You had complaints from one programmer who said you guys were basically stealing people's stuff and not paying them, and then he wound up murdered. What was that?
In a now trivial interview, political commentator Tucker Carlson sat down with OpenAI CEO Sam Altman, and what began as a conversation about AI quickly spiraled into something darker. Carlson brought up the 2024 death of Suchir Balaji, a former OpenAI engineer, and asked a question that stopped Altman cold. His mother says he was murdered on your orders. Altman, of course, denies it, but the family insists there's more to the story. So what actually happened?
Also a great tragedy, he committed suicide.
Do you think he committed suicide?
I really do.
Suchir Balaji wasn't just another coder. He was a prodigy, a former core engineer, a $100,000 coding competition winner, and he joined OpenAI in 2020, and he left deeply concerned, reportedly about the company's data practices. He believed OpenAI was scraping copyrighted content to train ChatGPT, and in his words, this is not a sustainable model for the internet ecosystem. A month after giving an interview to the New York Times, he was found dead.
Friend of mine, this is like a guy that, and not a close friend, but this is someone that worked at OpenAI for a very long time. It was a gun he had purchased. It was this is like gruesome to talk about, but I read the whole medical record. Does it not look like one to you?
According to the San Francisco Medical Examiner, the cause of death was self-inflicted gunshot wound, not signs of forced entry, deadbolt locked from the inside. Blood alcohol was 0.178 plus traces of GHB, and recently Googled was brain anatomy.
No, he was definitely murdered, I think. There were signs of a struggle, of course. The surveillance camera, the wires had been cut. He had just ordered takeout food, come back from a vacation with his friends on Catalina Island. No indication at all that he was suicidal. No note and no behavior. He had just spoken to a family member on the phone. And then he's found dead with blood in multiple rooms. So that's impossible. Seems really obvious he was murdered.
Suchir's parents didn't accept the official ruling either. They commissioned a second autopsy, and the pathologist found what they say was a suspicious trajectory, a diagonal bullet path inconsistent with self-harm. They also hired a private crime scene expert, and his report described blood scattered across multiple rooms, blood spatter on the cabinets and tile, knocked over trash bins, blood-stained wireless earbuds. And according to the investigator, more likely, this is seen in homicidal death scenes. But so far, no official charges and no reopening of the case.
You talked to the authorities about it?
I have not talked to the authorities about it.
And his mother claims he was murdered on your orders.
Do you believe that?
I think that it is worth looking into. If a guy comes out and accuses your company of committing crimes, I have no idea if that's true or not, and then is found killed and there are signs of a struggle, I don't think it's worth dismissing it. I don't think we should say, well, he killed himself when there's no evidence that the guy was depressed at all.
Suchir wasn't quiet when he left. He published a blog post critical of OpenAI's copyright practices, and he later named in a court filing related to the New York Times lawsuit against OpenAI. The filing confirmed OpenAI was searching his files. His mother says he hated Sam Altman. His friends say he was outspoken about ethical concerns. Carlson asked Altman, "Do you think this is related to what he revealed?" And Altman replied, "I don't believe he was killed, but I understand how this happens." AI is no longer code, it's power, billions of dollars, and whistleblowers in AI, from ethics researchers to engineers, are increasingly walking into the storm. Frances Haugen versus Facebook, Timothy Gerbu versus Google, and now possibly Suchir Balaji versus OpenAI. And if there's even a chance that someone who spoke out was silenced, then the world needs to ask, what protections exist for those inside the AI industry who raised the alarm? Is Sam Altman guilty of anything? No evidence says so. No charges have been filed. But the narrative war is very real. A grieving family, a company with everything to lose, a media storm looking for clarity. And us? Well, we're watching it unfold.
The kid was clearly killed by somebody. I immediately called a member of Congress from California, Ro Khanna, and said, this is crazy, you've got to look into this. And nothing ever happened.
I think this is, I feel strange and sad debating this, but this was like a wonderful person and a family that is clearly struggling. I think you can totally take the point that you're just trying to get to the truth of what happened.